Well, the BBC Charter renewal is an opportunity for Scotland. It's a challenge. The BBC faces difficult budgetary settlement, but that is also an opportunity to innovate and do things differently. We want the BBC to be bold and ambitious for Scotland, not just for audiences to see more of the representation of Scotland that they are demanding, see better programme making that reflects Scotland, but also to see more of that programme making that will also benefit the independent production sector.
The Scottish Government has, for the first time, had, if you like, a mandate to participate in a charter renewal process. So this is a really important historical moment, actually, because it's the first time ever, really, that an elected government of Scotland has played a role in the process of determining the future and the future shape of the BBC across the UK. So for that reason, I really, really welcome it, because it's democratically an important move forward.
In terms of the consultation process, we're working with Interest in Scotland. We're working very closely with the BBC itself. I've had meetings with James Purnell. I'm due to have meetings with Tony Hall. And also in terms of the BBC in Scotland, we're working with them, but also other stakeholders, because it's really important that we have a vibrant independent production sector for film and television in Scotland, and the BBC is very much part of that. If we can transfer budgets within the BBC to make more decision making about the numbers of programmes and the types of programmes that are made in Scotland that can be seen not just in Scotland but the rest of the UK, and hopefully sold to the rest of the world, then I think there's a great future if we shape that. But we need to get consensus, or at least some agreement about what the priorities are for Scotland.
There are a number of things going on within the BBC that it is itself concerned with, not least of which is the cutbacks that it faces, perhaps the reduced licence fee settlement that it faces, the pressure to fund free of cost people over the age of 75. So there's a whole range of things that the BBC faces. Now, we know that every time that the BBC tries to reduce a service, so for example, when it said that it was going to move BBC 3 online, or when it was going to do less music on BBC 6, Radio 6, there was outcries from different subsectors of the population. And the BBC has to cohere all of these kind of warring factions and subsectors. But Scotland is not a subsector, it's not a subculture, it is not a special interest group. It is a nation within the United Kingdom. And therefore, if you're looking at it from that point of view, what Scotland wants is fundamentally more important than what fans of thrash metal want. And we need to be given that status within the culture of the BBC, that we constitute an important, and I hate using the word, but I'll use it, an important stakeholder within the BBC.